Hey guys, I'm Ich. My sports videography career started 15 years ago with the Montreal Canadiens, and I've been working with many sports organizations from around the world since then. And today I want to talk about the 7 things you never knew about sports videography. Because as cool as it is to be working, let's say in the NFL or the NBA, for example, and have regular access to players, there's also a lot of misconceptions around the real life of a sports videographer. So I'm gonna debunk 7 of the biggest misconceptions, and trust me, you will be surprised by a few of them, especially the last one. I'm such a tease. Alright, for the first misconception, let's get a big one out of the way. Let's talk moolah. A lot of people think that because players are making millions, surely the staff is not too far behind. Considering the fact that a beer at a game costs 10, 12 bucks, there's obviously a lot of profits being made, and all that money has to go somewhere. But in reality, all that money goes to players, obviously, but also senior management, coaches, infrastructures, training facilities, things like that. And when it comes to normal staff like videographers, but also like marketing people and salespeople and accountants, more often than not, the salaries are lower than they would be for the same job somewhere else. And the reason for that is quite simple. Even you watching this video right now, hoping to one day work as a professional sports videographer, the reason why you want the job is not necessarily to get rich. Obviously, you want to get paid, but the real reason you'd like to work in sports, especially for a team in your city that you grew up watching and rooting for, is because that would be a dream come true for you. Which is awesome, because dreams are much more important than money, in my opinion. But the problem with that is that everyone else applying for the same job that you want also shares the exact same dream. So when NBA or NHL teams are looking for a new videographer, there's literally hundreds of very talented applicants that are willing to take a little bit less money than they normally would for what they consider to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And the teams are well aware of it and will definitely take advantage of it. The second thing you probably don't know about sports videography is that filming games and producing hype videos is really just a small part of what we do. Because of course you'll be filming games, but considering the fact that, there's only so many games in a season, and most teams, not all of them, but most of them don't send their videographers on the road, that's not exactly a full-time job. And when it comes to hype videos, really, there's one for the season and one for the playoffs. And yes, you might update the video throughout the season, but you're not really going to be editing a new one every week, not even close. So what do we really do during the week? First of all, there's a lot of scrums, like media scrums, a lot of press conferences, a lot of team announcements. We also do a lot of corporate videos, and we help the sales team sell like very expensive ticket items like the corporate suites and the sponsorship deals, things like that. We also do a lot of promotional content, whether it's for ticket sales or merch. And obviously there's a lot of social media content. So a lot of Q&A with the players, little funny videos, also things that are built around trending dates and things like that. So obviously you got your Christmas content, you got your Valentine's Day content. To be honest, your daily workload is much more about marketing than it is about sports. Another thing that people don't realize about sports videography, especially when they're starting, is that beginners need to shoot all sports. Getting experience filming as many different sports as possible will greatly help your chances of one day getting a sports videography job. But don't just take it from me. Listen to Pete Gottschalk, MLB videographer, who was recently on one of my videos talking about the benefits from his internship at Georgia Bulldogs Sports Marketing while he was studying at Georgia University.
The fact that I was able to shoot all sports is something that was super valuable because I could pretty much apply for any job I wanted to in the sports industry because I had that portfolio or that sport in my reel to show for it. So kind of take that into consideration. I think that's a valuable thing that I really didn't realize at the time, but I really appreciate it now because I applied for football jobs, I applied for baseball jobs, basketball, whatever it be, soccer. They put me in a position to succeed, and I'm forever grateful to everyone there.
Another thing that most beginners don't realize is that a better camera will not make your life easier. It will obviously help you get better content, but it won't be easy. Too often I see people buying very expensive cameras very early in their career trying to achieve a look that they saw somewhere else, and when they don't get to that point, they get frustrated and they don't really understand what's going on, but really all it is practice. So you just need to get out there, get experience, try different things. Don't just film the same way every time, because that's the whole point of a professional camera. Anything can be adjusted, anything can be done in the creative way that you're after. So, like I said, keep practicing. Go on YouTube, watch tons of videos about your camera, learn the settings and what they do, and you'll get better in no time. The fifth misconception I want to debunk is the fact that even though sports videographers hang around professional athletes all the time, we are definitely not friends. Yeah, actually, yeah, your wife texted me this morning about doing it after World Cup.
Yeah.
All good? Yeah. No, thanks for doing that, by the way.
Be a bit busy the next
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, no, that's cool. Thanks for doing this. The point I'm trying to make is that don't think that because you interact with a player at work from time to time, it makes it okay for you to walk up to him and ask him for an autograph, or maybe say something that might be considered slightly inappropriate. This is definitely not the right way to go, because all it takes for you to lose your job is for one player to either be offended or annoyed by your presence around them. And it's not just like about athletes being prima donnas or anything like that. It's more that athletes, especially these days, everywhere they go, they are bombarded by fans asking for selfies, autographs, all those things. And when they're on their own with no security around, no one to sort of create a separation from the fans, they pretty much have to say yes to everything if they don't want to look like an asshole. So they spend their entire days just being nice to every single stranger that just walks up to them. So when they are within the confine of the stadium in their sort of little sport bubble, they don't really want to deal with that stuff outside of the specific moments when it's meant to happen. They want to just focus on basketball or hockey or whatever it is, just do their thing or listen to their music, hang out with their teammates, things like that. The last thing they want is for someone to enter that bubble and act like the one thing that they just don't want to have to deal with right now. So as a sports videographer, you're there to do a job and just stick to that job. And if a player is nice to you, you can definitely have a conversation with him or her and just interact like normal people. But just keep in mind that as nice as they are to you, they are not your friends. Another thing that people don't realize is how much knowing everything there is about the sport or the team that you're filming will make a difference in your work. Let's be honest, when filming a game, a lot of your footage will be garbage because you're following the action, hoping for something to happen. And, a lot of the times you're behind the play or you're out of focus or you just miss something. But if you actually spend the time to really, first of all, know who's the best player, who are the players who are most likely to score, understand most of the routes that they're running, where they typically go, the type of plays that they run, that sort of thing, that will make it a lot easier for you to point your camera at the right place at the right time. And finally, the last thing that most people don't know about sports videography, which is kind of a continuation of the previous point, is that even though you are a super good sports videographer and you get amazing footage, most of your content will never be seen. Sports by nature is one of those things that you can film for hours and hours with nothing really interesting ever happening. So be okay with the fact that you can film a lot of content and most of it will never be seen by anyone but yourself. And also keep in mind that projects that you've been working on for weeks or even months can easily be shut down just because a player involved in that video ended up doing something that blew up on social media and got him in trouble, or he simply got traded. A lot of things can happen that will make a ton of content obsolete. Anyway, I hope that this whole video didn't come out as me being too negative and complaining about my sports videography career, because honestly, I enjoyed every single minute of it. I feel so lucky to be able to get up every morning and go do what I love. I think a lot of people have to sacrifice 8 hours a day so that they can enjoy their lives. I get to enjoy 24 hours a day, and I sincerely think that I'm one of the lucky ones.
You got to see the guy behind this camera. Legit. Come here, come here, come here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Legit.
And you won't give it to me, I'ma take it.
Hey, that was my rapper side right there.
Come and join me on the ice after the game and take my jersey off for all for a good cause. Oh fuck. They call me 10 Taker, huh?
So today was just a way for me to give you a bit of insight into what I do. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. As usual, my name is E, and I hope I earned the privilege of your time.